We are joined by Sijara Eubanks. First question comes from Jay Anderson with Cageside Press. Your line is open.
Thanks very much, Sijara. Congrats on the win. First of all, just walk through that fight. What did you think of your performance tonight?
I thought it was great. I was one of the best performances of my career. I landed everything. I hurt good. I pushed hard. I cannot complain.
How much pressure did you put on yourself coming into this fight with a couple of losses in your last outings?
Zero, none. My goal is to have fun tonight. That's it. All camp was like, have fun, man. Have fun. It is what it is. Like, you lose some in this game. That's what happened. And I knew if I put all that pressure on me, I wasn't going to be able to perform. And that's what I really wanted to get back to. I think I put pressure on those fights that I lost. Like, I got to win these fights. And that's when I had those performances that I lost. I figured if I come in and do what I do best, which is have fun, box, wrestle, ground and pound, it's in God's hands after that. We're just going to have a good time.
And I'm wondering if you could take us through that little moment at the end. Looks like there was a little push or she took offense to something. What happened there after the fight?
I just got a little excited. It's that adrenaline. So I had heard a while back a little clip where she had said, like, I want to put Sijara in the hospital. And so maybe it's some clickbait or something. And so I really hadn't thought about it. But right at the end, I was like, you go to the hospital. And so she was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, and then I try to humble myself right away. I try to be a humble person. I try to, like, be a good sport, good, not be a good winner and a good loser. So I try to be a good sport. And I apologized to her right away in the cage before they even raised a hand because I just got excited. It's adrenaline. You get into a fight. You go 15 minutes. You see somebody. You see blood. It just get excited. So I had saw a clip where she said she wanted to put me in the hospital. So that's why I was like, you go to the hospital. So my bad.
Gotcha. Now, I know it's going to be hard given the climate that we're in. Not a lot of events have been announced. I don't know where fights necessarily are going to take place. But, given your choice, when do you want to fight again and who would you have in mind, if anyone?
ASAP. Hopefully Fight Island. No names in particular. I just want to fight again. It's one thing I told my manager. I've been trying to tell everyone that's listening. I just want to fight frequently. Like, especially now I'm back in the win column. I think I just always have these long gaps. I've been in the UFC like 2 or 3 years now, and I get on average 6-7 months between the fight. And so I'm not even picky about who. I just want to go again soon.
And last one for me. I know you're a big Game of Thrones fan. It's over. It's done. What's taking its place for you?
Man, so I binged on Gentleman Jack. That was good. And honestly, there hasn't been anything that comes close to Game of Thrones. What have I been watching? I watched Black AF on Netflix the other day. That's funny. Man, nothing good. There's another show that's funny on HBO, though. It's the show where the cruise ship is stuck in space. That's a funny one. I think it's Avenue 9. That's a good one, too. That's a good one. And none of those are anything like Game of Thrones. There's no Game of Thrones-like show. There's no, like, dragons that replaces it. I've been watching, like, comedy a lot recently.
All right. Well, congrats on the win, and best of luck moving forward.
Thank you so much.
Up next, we have Louise Green with MMA Crazy. Your line is open.
Hi, Sijara. You obviously mentioned there about gaps in your fights and wanting to fight more frequent. When this whole pandemic, started and your original matchup in Brooklyn was cancelled, how frustrated were you? And is there like a weight off your shoulders now that this fight has finally happened?
It was a little frustrating, but at the same time, it's not like, it's a pandemic, so it's like, all right, so, you can't complain. It's not like it just got canceled for no reason. So it was a little frustrating, but I was confident that UFC and Dana White was going to make some kind of fights happen. And so I just stayed on the game. And now that it has finally happened, I do feel good, especially because not only just because my original fight date got pushed back, but I haven't fought since September last year. So I just was happy to get back in the cage, period. So, I appreciate UFC keeping these fights going. I thought it was pretty gangster. So I'm glad that they were able to reschedule me right away. So I'm just happy and not so much a weight off my shoulders, but I am happy to be fighting.
And we saw you communicating with your corner during the fight. What was it like fighting with no spectators, no crowd?
So you kind of miss the energy of the crowd, but at the same time, it was phenomenal being able to hear my corners. I love it. See, in camp, when I'm training, when I'm sparring, I'm always communicating with my coach. That's one thing that's really common to me. I like to be able to talk to them and to be able to communicate with them. So to be able to do it live and in a fight felt like an advantage. I always talk to my corner, so it was great. I wish I could hear like that all the time. I wish I could have the best of both worlds, like bring the crowd in, but then also like put a little magnet, like little thing in my ear so I can hear my coach. I wish I could have it both ways, but it was great being able to hear it tonight.
All right. Well, congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much.
Up next, we have James Lynch with the score.
Hey, Sarge, good to talk to you again. Congratulations on the win. You sort of talked about it there, about how, there was an interview clip, it kind of annoyed you, and, you even mentioned, like, on the broadcast, so people were talking about your cardio. Is that what you need to have a dominant performance, is just, have sort of a chip on your shoulder? Because this was one of your most dominant wins.
It was. I don't know, like, I think it wasn't necessarily the chip on my shoulder that motivated me. It was my whole goal this camp was to have fun. Because I've always kind of had pressure. I've always put a lot of pressure on myself. I've always been real intense. And really what I wanted to do with this fight and with this camp is like, look, no matter what happens, have fun. You gotta go out there and have a good time. I felt like I fought my best when I was a little bit more relaxed. So that was it. There was like people talk about my cardio, but like honestly, I got over y'all talking about my cardio like 2 weeks ago. like the media have been talking about my cardio since the beginning of my career, and I look down my record, I'm like, okay. 30 minutes with Aspen Ladd. She's never gone to the decision with anybody but me. 30 minutes with Roxanne Modafferi. 15 minutes with Lauren Murphy. 15 minutes with Escudero. Like, why are y'all talking about my cardio? So, like, I go like I got too many decisions in my opinion. So, it wasn't necessarily a chip on my shoulder, but I did want to have fun. I did want to display my skills. And coming out of the second and going into the third, I was like, well, she ain't gonna die here clearly. So y'all get to see 15 minutes again.
And you talked about that there, Sarah's durability. Was there anything that surprised you in the fight at all about her, heading into this fight that you weren't expecting?
No. I could tell by the type of fighter she was. I always get, like, those kind of game kind of girls. Like Roxanne. Like, everyone looks at Roxanne and is like, oh, like, I knew Roxanne was going to be game. You can hit her upside her head with a baseball bat. And I knew Sarah Morris was going to be the same way. So I made sure to stay patient and stay sharp and just keep touching her. Just keep touching her up. I knew if I try to overswing and kill her with everything, that might not be the best idea, the best game plan. So I wasn't surprised that she ate. There was some of them where she stumbled, and I was like, "You still going? All right, still here." So, didn't surprise me. Just kept touching her.
And last one for me: is there an opponent in mind next? I know this win's fresh, but you're back on the winning track, and you had a really dominant performance, like I mentioned there.
Nope, I don't have anybody in mind. Whoever gonna fight me the soonest, I would like to, get right back in it. I don't want to take 6 months off no more. I'm tired of them long breaks. I would like to fight again as soon as possible, and so I'm not gonna be picky about who it is.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And last question comes from Shaquille Majuri with MMA Mania.
The big win. Sarge, congratulations on the big win.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Now, we talk about how you could communicate clearly with your corner, but I'm guessing you could probably hear Sarah's coaches as well, that's asking her to push the pace, saying that you're going to tire her out. How great did it feel to come out in the third round knowing you were as fresh as you were, and they were thinking the opposite?
I thought it was great because I knew she was tired too. In the first round, I kind of talked a little smack to them too. Somebody was like, "We know what the toe means." I was like, "What do it mean then?" So I thought it was cool. I heard them shouting loud for her to take down. I heard them at one point. I heard them say like jab overhand. So I was like way out the way of that. And it was like towards the third, I wanted to stay focused and not get too lackadaisical. But I did. I heard them saying she's gassing. She don't want this kind of fight. And I'm like, bruh, like what fights do y'all be watching? Because I'm always in a grind. I'm always in a nasty fight. So how would I not want that? Like, I love them grindy fights. Like, so bring it. So I kind of chuckled to myself because I knew she was hurting too. I was like, if y'all think I'm hurting, homegirl hurting too. So let's go.
And last thing for me here, you kind of touched on how you're tired of hearing the media jabber about this and that or the social media reaction. And you've been public about, the criticisms before, but I'm wondering in that time, like, how has your relationship with public feedback changed? Do you block it out more now? Do you stay off social media? Are you welcoming it? Like, what's going on? Because I know that could be a lot to handle.
No, I welcome it all. It's funny, I was teasing with, I forgot who I was talking to, but when I was supposed to fight Valentina and they pulled me and ended up fighting Roxanne and I was getting booed, I was like, look, the only time I get any Twitter when people hate on me, that's the only time I get any tweetbacks. I'm not mad at it. I mean, people are going to talk about something. So right now, people think I don't have cardio. That's cool. You can talk about what you want. Like they say, like, what is it? Like bad news is good news or whatever. Like I take all of that with a grain of salt. Like I like trolling, honestly. People come on my Instagram. Somebody tried to troll me and say I wouldn't make weight, and I bet him $100, and he definitely Venmo'd me. So I kind of like it. I don't get upset. Like, people are gonna talk. It is what it is. I don't take social media or anything that seriously. I appreciate having you guys, the reporters and the media, because without y'all, like we need coverage in order to get exposure. So I don't really care what y'all write about. I like when y'all write nice stuff, and most of the time it is. It's just sometimes critical. Like, Sarge don't got no cardio. To me, like, that's so incorrect. So, like, whatever, write what you want. So I don't have a bad relationship. Bring it on.
Well, Sarge, well, hopefully all they'll be talking about today is your great performance.
That's right, baby. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Sijara. You're good to go.
Thank you. Appreciate that.